Hello. The marriage facing any kind of difficulties? Are you looking for a long-lasting solution to your marriage conflicting issues? Here we will tackle those challenges facing marriages with the hope of offering long-lasting solutions to them. Click on the link button right now to join us in restoring peace and happiness in most marriages all over. I am Mrs. Juliet Ofodile Owen-Hampo, and on this I will co-discuss the topic common mistakes couples make in preparatory to marriage with Chris Ofodile.
Yes, nice to be here.
Common mistakes men make in preparatory to marriage. One, artificial lifestyle, otherwise called pretense. Some men pretend a lot when they want to approach a lady. They might not naturally know they are pretending. They're only trying to set a goal, a standard they cannot meet afterwards. Once the man tries to manually enhance his ability to appear physically, emotionally, financially attractive to the lady in question, he is already pretending. And such a man might not be able to continue pretense after they have gotten married. When he sets such a high standard of himself to the lady, and then after he has gotten married to the lady, he cannot maintain the status quo. It's already a problem. It is called artificial lifestyle, and it has caused so many men the beautiful bride or the woman they have married, because after the marriage, the wife starts to lose test as man when he cannot continue with the standard he has set for her. Please, what do you think?
Yes, that is very true. Artificial lifestyle, otherwise known as pretense, is a common mistake, one of the common mistakes couple or intending couple make. You can also refer to it as fake lifestyle, just as you said in the case of men, women, young women intending to become wives make similar mistakes. They tend to set a high standard just to impress the man. They tend to look quite artificial. They tend to set their height as high beyond their reach, and so that in some cases they make the man feel that he is, that she is of a high standard, and then the man have to speed up or try to get up to her, live up to her expectation. You also see a situation where the females, such a female, tend to tell lies of all sorts, trying to please the man or trying to, give coloration that is not necessary. They want to impress the man by all means. They Some pretend to be all loved up. Sometimes when you go to the man's visit the man, you pretend to be so nice, you clean the whole place, you wash the whole place, and you build through that, you build some level of trust. And in the long run, when you get into the marriage, you will not be able to sustain such things you have, such attributes that you have presented prior to that marriage. So in the life of the marriage, at, that is why sometimes at the beginning, sometimes after the wedding, you see 1 week, 2 weeks, and thereof, you begin to see, but you pretended to be like this. So you were pretending all the while. You find a situation where the woman will begin to withdraw from some of those things she pretended to be doing nicely, and thereof problems will begin. Juliet, I think that pretense is one of the things that must be avoided preparatory to marriage.
Right. Yeah, you're correct. I don't think any couple should pretend about anything at all before you get married. You should always be open. Be open. Let your spouse love you the way you are. Whether you don't have, just allow your spouse to love you. You're going to enjoy the marriage most in that way. So
Yes, it's good to be natural.
let's go
Yes,
to the
it's good. I
second
said it's good.
one.
Mm.
Jealousy. Jealousy. Some men have complex issues or they feel insecure about their wife being around other men. This kind of men become insensitive towards their. It is wrong. It is totally wrong. Especially the ones who, in quotes, are said to be very beautiful. Those women that whenever they talk around, everyone turns to look at them and admire their beauty. You have to know that you have married everybody's turn head about. You don't have to feel insecure. You have to mingle. Before you got married to her, she was a human being. Like she has a workplace. She goes to parties. She goes to the church. She moves around the world. She has to be admired. All you have to do is build a different kind of towards the and allow her to soar high. Allow her to fly. Take her away. And before they got married to a woman, they feel so insecure, but they wouldn't let the woman know about it. Oh, it's fine, it's okay. I'm meeting this kind of a man. So oh, it's fine, I'm okay with it. At the marriage, I'm not comfortable with it. Some men go as far as relegating their wife to the background, making her a housewife, and that is very bad. Before you married her, she was doing so many other things. She was going to also. You don't have to think of at all. What I'm trying to say is one of the mistakes men make in marriage. You don't have to feel insecure about your wife at all. You don't have to feel around the woman and allow her to go higher. It is also to your benefit. It's also a good thing that your wife is growing and making both male and female. Please, I hope I'm getting it right. What do you think?
Yes, I agree with you. Jealousy is another common mistake intending couples make preparatory to marriage. In the case of ladies, there is this school of thought that jealousy is feminine.
Really?
You know, yeah, that's a school of thought, not from Chris, but it's a school of thought. So,
Men
we
really
all
jealous as
pose,
men are really jealous as well.
yeah, but when they say, the sentiment there is that when they say it's feminine, they say it's at a point, it's feminine because it is at a point when the man becomes feminine. There's every element of feminine nature in men. There's also an element of masculine nature in women. So at the time that the feminine nature is prominent in men, that is when you see the element of jealousy. That is when it becomes prominent in men. That's what that school of thought is suggesting. However, in the case in context, we all have elements of jealousy in us. However, self-control or discipline is essential. In the case of ladies or women intending to be married to a man, there is this need. You find that in your husband's family, you just naturally begin to feel jealous. Originally, your husband is associated with certain persons before she becomes attached to you, begin to grow a relationship with you. She comes from a place, she has a family, and the family has become used to him. So, getting married to you as a woman does not mean that he will be totally detached from his family. So, at that point, when you notice that the man is attached to his family, it is a, you may now begin to apply wisdom, but not to make moves to dissociate him or to detach him from the family. And so, at that point where your husband wants to do something for his mother, you begin to feel jealous. You are looking for trouble. At that moment, when you notice that preparatory to wedding, to your marriage rights, you notice that your husband wants to do some things for his family, preparatory to the wedding, you begin to feel jealous. You begin to now bring up the ones you want your family to do, want him to do for your family. Typical of us in Africa, the man will buy clothes for the woman, for the mother-in-law. The woman will also want him to buy clothes for all his siblings, all her siblings. And in some cases, the woman will want him to buy for her friends. All those are shady things. Whereas the man also is expected to buy same for his own mother or father, or as the case may be. The moment such a young lady begin to see that it seems that this guy is giving more attention to his people, there will be some element of jealousy. So at the point when they say that, that school of thought says jealousy is feminine, it then means that the woman needs to begin to control the extent to which she allows jealousy to manifest. It's also important that we avoid every element of jealousy which can lead to distrust, paranoia, abuse, or even physical violence. It starts small, it starts from little things, and you notice it's noticeable preparatory to marriage. I've given instances, but the woman should watch out at that moment when you begin to feel unease, when your man is doing something even for your friends, you begin to feel somehow. You need to kill it at that point, because if it grows further, it will affect your marriage adversely. Juliet.
All right, so let's go to the next one. Knowledge of the intention. Some men fail to have a perfect understanding of their intended wife before they get married. It is important to get married to anyone. You know God. Forget about the that is the reason why courtship. Before you get married, as you want to marry, certain things about her personal life now, not about surrounding her. You try to know if the woman you want to marry can try to know you want to marry is the kind of a person that You try to know if the woman you want to marry is mentally stable. You think if this woman you want to marry has all the qualifications. Looking out for in a woman, or is someone you want to settle, only essential that from time to time you have a conversation with the woman you want to marry. Right, a social conversation, not a phone call. Right, social conversation, one-on-one sit down talk. Very, very important because without having a full grasp of knowledge about the woman, the marriage is bound to fail. After you have married this woman, you are now living in the same house with this woman as a religion called marriage. You begin to find out certain things about her which you couldn't get before your marriage. You feel disappointed. Honestly, at this point, because maybe this have been the woman's role of that she didn't hide from you, but because you were quick to action or because you were blinded by love, you couldn't ascertain to dive into the marriage. And when she starts to, you feel bad about it and you want to opt out. You need to move in. It is always good that you ascertain your facts and everything she does. Have at your plans. Be able to tell that at this particular time, I would do and cannot, even though it's not 100%, but be convinced in your heart that this is what you want to go in. This is the kind of, if not, leader into your home because you have felt Chris.
You have made their main points. Ditto to similar to women. It's important that the woman get to know the man to a reasonable extent. You know, this point, foreknowledge of intended spouse or intended couple or a partner is similar to, you know, it has is indirectly connected to the first one that we mentioned, pretense. You know, as a result of pretense, you may not readily or easily know what the other person is up to. It may be difficult to some extent to identify certain things. However, there are key things that must be known about your intended partner or person you are planning to spend your life with. And so we find that some women or some young ladies tend to be carried away. You find a guy, all luxury lifestyle, he comes in with very expensive stuff, massage, and all whatnot they call it. He come with expensive gold necklace, this, that. You see him in most expensive cars, sneakers. You know, he's riding in Escalade or he's riding in G wagon or any brand of Mercedes or you know any of the latest vehicle. He flies all the time. You know, spends in dollars or hard currencies or whatsoever. Some ladies get carried away by this. As a result, they don't pay attention to details. They tend to lose focus along the line. And this can be blamed on how such relationship is started. You can also say the foundation of such relationship. So the lady is carried away. She don't get to understand the personality of this guy. In personality, you look at uh, what are this person, what does this person tolerate? What's this person's philosophy? What's this person's ideology? What's this person's principle? In some cases, they fail to look at whether they share same or similar, philosophy or even personality. This goes a long way to, shape that relationship. They fail to also consider the person's capacity. At this point, the pretense, it may be blamed of pretense. When you don't know somebody's capacity, you don't know whether the person is an intellect because he can pretend. You don't know whether the person truly or genuinely has financial capabilities, being able to take care of the home and be able to provide where it is important, and so many other things. You don't even know whether he is man enough. You don't even know whether he's able to stand to defend you, the woman, or the family. If you don't pay attention to these things because you are carried away, you see it often in young people these days who are aspiring to become wives. They are just eager to become wives, not minding what what happens thereafter. There is this other critical aspect, which is looking at the family background. They fail to look at the family background, which has adverse effect. If a man is of a family that is cursed, it means that the offspring of such marriage is going to be inheriting such curse. If the family is ostracized, maybe as a result of the evil they did in the past, if the family has a genetic challenge, biological challenge, maybe they have a history of mental illness in the family, they have a history of different things that could mar successful marriages. You would understand that the woman has made that mistake at that point. So, Juliet, I think that such a lady has entered into a serious challenge prior to the marriage, when she neglects, has a poor knowledge of his partner, and this goes a long way to affect that relationship, because when they enter, the person will now have to be blaming oneself. Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Or you deceived me, or you told me this, or you told me that. It's common these days. What do you think?
And this could be the major causes of so many major causes of marriage conflicts all over the world. Not perfect knowledge of your intended spouse. However, I hope people we are intending to co-opt all the things are listening attentively and are going to make judicious use. Make sure you understand your intended spouse perfectly before you say I do. Before you walk the man or woman of your dream, make sure you have knowledge of her. Let's go to the next one. Another mistake men make before Some men are following the current trend of being responsible or being called a responsible man. It's like only the married have to survive. Because this man, maybe all his friends have gotten married, or because he wants to be referred as a responsible man, he tends to dabble into marriage. He is much to handle marriage issues. Maybe he's facing pressure from his home. Maybe as an only child or an only son, for instance, and he's an African parent, let me African in quote, and that he should get married so that he could get there at spring. It is now considering whether this person is stable enough to handle a home without the financial making of a home. It is always a problem. You have to pay women. They still find it very difficult to comprehend in their brain what life looks like. They're going through in that marriage. But they will still go in. Why would some men calling their husband baby husband? Baby husband in the sense that he cannot handle any meaningful discussion at home. Always running with his family members, maybe his family before to respond to his wife on certain issues. You know, maturity is paramount, very, very important. It's about age. It's not how old you are. Maturity is mindset. Maturity is how well your brain have developed to accommodate certain issues coming up from a particular place. It is important that you know every man is mature before marriage.
Yes, immaturity. In the case of female, it has a little variation. I agree that maturity is not necessarily with age or with brain advancement and exposures. Uh, However, maturity may be associated with age because as you grow older, you encounter things, you experience things, you tend to adjust along that path or in line with the experience over time. And so, in the case of female, a sharp difference is that you begin to see for a lady who is eager to be married to a partner, how to know that the person is immature at this point is that you see the tendency of selfishness. Everything is about her. It's only about her. You see, she keeps insisting that, in fact, every other thing about the person does not matter. The intending spouse or the guy does not matter. It's just about her. That's a sign of immaturity. You also see tendency of becoming defensive. She's always defending herself, always trying to, she's not flexible. Such is also attributed to immaturity. You could also see, her, experience, encounter her, not, be ready to commit she has commitment issues. In this case, I wonder how the such a lady will be able to flow in such a marital relationship if she's not able to commit, to be committed to that relationship. You can also you also see that they have difficulty owning up to their mistakes. They hardly agree that they are wrong. In such case, a slightest provocation will lead to a fight. You also see that they become easily upset or overwhelmed. Small thing they don't dey vex, small thing they provoke, or they easily get overwhelmed by the whatever they've gotten involved in. When you see such things as a young lady, you know that you are not prepared, so you may need to work on them. Immaturity will adversely affect the relationship, as you set up. That's why it is advised that you start with courtship, and so that you begin to work up on the areas that you tend not to be doing very well. That's where I agree with Juliet that maturity is not necessarily with age. However, the female becomes more is quicker to adjust and quicker to become mature because they tend to learn faster. They tend to avoid mistakes they've made in the past. So that's an advantage for the female, and that's a little bit difference between the male. So that is it, Juliet.
After that, we'll move to the next topic, rushing into marriage. This could also be in line with immaturity, but it's good we talk about it separately because there are certain signs that lift from immaturity and linked to rushing to marry into marriage. But there are certain things in rushing into marriage that you can get in immaturity. Let's just talk about it separately. Rushing into marriage. What is rushing into marriage in the first place? Don't settle that. Don't really ascertain within themselves if they are prepared to go into marriage. Just want to marry for the sake of getting married, or for the sweetness of the feelings they have. They go into the marriage rushing and you rush out. Let me think that way. So, you know, some men, like I said before, in my just want to please their parents. Maybe they are they are of age to get married, or that they are made for marriage. Now they want to get married. Sometimes they don't care whom they are getting married with. They just want to settle down and have peace of mind from their parents. Some are peer pressure, all their friends just them. I think they just want to feel among. When they rush into at the tail end, they won't be happy. Most of them end up being happy after marriage. I will give you an instance of a particular man I met, and then he was opting for a divorce. He wanted to divorce his wife. And when I asked him the reason why he wanted to divorce his wife, after 8 good years of marriage, he said, I never wanted to marry her. She wasn't in the picture. She wasn't in the marriage picture. But because my parents were at my neck, they were just two men and family. The other one was mentally stable. Parents wanted him to get married so that in Igbo they call it onochie. This man already had an issue with his girlfriend. He wanted to settle. But because he had already promised his mother that particular year, I will surely get married for you, he found someone else, courting her without, getting to know her better. He rushed into marriage with her. And then after the marriage, or in the marriage, he began to find out certain things about the woman that, he ordinarily cannot tolerate. He now wants to rush out. So it is on men, don't rush into marriage. Don't allow anybody to rush you into marriage, because when the drums begin to beat, I hope you'll be able to dance if you rush into marriage. But if you calm down, think about yourself. Am I ready to get married? Is this the man I want to? Is this the man I want to take? Will I be able to bear the consequences of getting married to this particular person? Is this person going to be my love? Am I going to be able to raise my children together with this person? Am I going to be able to in love with her? Am I going to be able to understand that this person is a human and needs certain level of time to think of personal needs? There are so many things to do. It's always good. The man, especially the man, think, think before you go into life. Analyze yourself. If it's possible, you can meet a therapist, you can meet a marriage counselor, you can meet your pastor, you can meet your priest, you can meet, you know, anybody of higher intellect, intellectual with you than you, who could sit down with you and analyze certain issues about yourself. Ascertain if truly you are ready to get married before you get married, so that we're not going to blame you person that rushed into marriage to rush out. Please, let's have your view on rushing into marriage.
Yes, I agree with you. Quite an interesting story, case study. So, rushing into marriage, otherwise referred to as desperation, or in some cases attributed to desperation, is one of these common mistakes that women make also, or young women make preparatory to marriage. In some cases, it's attributed to family pressure. Come into a family, you find that a a lady who is first daughter, maybe the younger one has gotten married, or somebody is coming for the younger one. There's this tendency that the lady will be put under pressure, or maybe the lady is given to uh, you know commitment issues. She rejects suitors. Different people come. The family will begin to mount pressure on her, and they will say, "You are the one. Don't you know that you are the one that is the first? So when the first goes, other ones will be able to." Or they will tell you that you are blocking road for others, that you will be quick to move so that others can, your younger ones can be seen or can join the fray. So such pressure comes in the diverse nature, family. So, and then also peer pressure. Maybe your mates are married, and your family will begin to put pressure on you on your age grade. They'll say, "This one you don't want to get married. Your mates are married." Such pressure, you see that your mates are getting married, you begin to be tensed. You begin to be tensed. Want to do what others are doing or what your mates are doing. There's also a societal pressure. You find that generally in the society, people are doing this and then you want to do because others are doing it. That is joining bandwagon effect. There's also this case of having desire to be married. That is when all the above mentioned or earlier mentioned situation does not apply to you. Naturally, you want to be married. There are some ladies who may just have this desire to have children. They will be eager to get married, or they just want to do everything to get married, and then we find that they have not been prepared. It is good that we discuss this separately because it's one key issue that is affecting marriages. So young ladies make this mistake. They are in a rush. They are in a rush to get married, not preparing, not doing due diligence to know about the man, to know about the background of the man, to know about the personality of the man, to know about the capacity of the man. So that rush to even know this, the I think we're going to talk about that one, the spiritual aspect of the man. So that rush will now cause a serious challenge because when everything is successfully done, your marriage, the weddings, all the traditional rites and all the marriage rites are successfully completed. The moment the marriage life begins, there is this tendency that you begin to regret. You become fatigued in a short period of time. You just get exhausted. There's tendency that you become so stressed, become stressed out. Gradually, you even slide into depression because you did not prepare. You even find that you begin to regret. So it's important that young ladies look out for this as a common mistake, one of the common mistakes that is made preparatory to marriage. Julia.
Well, Chris, thank you for handling that interesting topic brilliantly. I agree with you 100%. Everything you say, I agree with you 100%. Thank you for joining us on this episode. Common mistakes couples make preparatory to marriage. Yeah, we're going to draw the curtain on this episode, and we hope you join us for the next episode. It's going to be more interesting because we have more topics loaded in the next. You can share this with your friends and family members. See you on the next episode. Bye.